guys maybe just had a conversation.
Yeah, no.
Talked about it.
Marisol's dead to me.
Hi everyone and welcome back. And I know this is a late upload. Again, for some reason last week was just a crazy week and I had no time to film, but that is okay. That is okay. Initially what I was thinking about was just combining this week's episode and last week's episode and then this week's episode just in one video, so I could do episode 11 and 12 just in one video, just to get back to my normal schedule. But then this week is the season finale, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make that its own separate video because it's the finale. But I think normally what I'm gonna do is if I miss a day, I'm just gonna combine both episodes in one video just to keep on the same schedule. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. We'll see. I said I was gonna do a lot of things and never got around to it, so we're gonna try. But let me just get into this. So this is episode 11 and let's just get into it. Okay, so real quick, oops, that was last week. Okay, this is this week. All right, so the episode opens up with Alexia, Frankie at the doctor. I think Peter was there too. Frankie, I think the doctors are right. He's a miracle. I love seeing Frankie on camera and seeing how far he's come. You know, it's just amazing to see his improvement. I think Frankie looks amazing. He's doing amazing. So I'm really happy that Alexia chose to show the world that, because I think Frankie is it's just so great to see him like that. I am adjusting my lighting because it's very weird in here. But I really, really appreciate seeing that side of Alexia and Frankie. All right, so it moves on. I love seeing Marisol's relationship with her husband. I think they are a really great couple. I love seeing Marisol so happy with this man. So I really like Steve. They're just so much fun. So then Marisol meets up with Adriana, I think his name is Johnny, Kiki, and discuss, you know, what should Marisol do for Alexia's bachelorette party. It's going to be at the Versace mansion, and poor Marisol has to bring her own Versace china because the Versace mansion doesn't have Versace china. Oh my god. So Johnny, Alexia, and Kiki give their ideas on what they should do for Alexia's party. There was also some ideas were okay, some ideas was weird. Johnny was like, hire somebody to teach you guys how to give good blowjobs, and you get Steve like, yeah, that's good. I love them. And then something, what's her name? Adriana was saying, oh, we should do something. Try to turn a straight guy on because it's your last night single. I'm like, nah. I think that they don't need anything else. So yeah, I thought Adriana's suggestion was weird, and then one of them, I think it was Johnny or Kiki, mentioned getting a piñata the shape of, you know, a dick, and then you guys can just beat it up. That sounds fun, very bachelorette. So then Adriana then mentions to Marisol about Nicole's feelings about Marisol, and you know, there's a flashback to Nicole and Adriana talking, and Nicole's pretty much like, I never want to deal with, you know, Marisol ever again. I'll talk about that later. All right, so then the scene then changes over to Lisa and Nicole. Lisa and Nicole then start talking about their dads, and I actually didn't know this, but Lisa reveals that she doesn't have a relationship with her father, which I thought was really sad and really interesting. And maybe next season we'll understand why, because Lisa hasn't given anything this whole season. I'm just saying, Lisa, you're just there and you occasionally stir the pot. I mean, I don't dislike Lisa, but Lisa, you don't have a storyline. I don't want to hear about this 5-6-year-old marriage issue you had with Lenny. That was how many years ago? So neither one of them have relationships with their dad. Nicole talks, sorry, let me rephrase that. So Nicole then talks about how, you know, she don't need her dad because she has her mom, who's amazing, and she has Anthony, which, yeah, you don't need him. You don't need that toxic energy in your household. If he's not going to change and be mature enough to start a relationship with you and your new family, your son, you don't need that. So then they talk about Marisol again. I feel like the girls are trying so hard to make this a storyline when Marisol and Nicole clearly don't really have an interest. Well, maybe Nicole, but it's like, both of them agree that they don't really like each other. Both of them agree they don't really want much to do with each other. Both of them agree they don't really care. So stop trying to make this something into nothing. I feel like it's almost like beating a dead horse. It's like the girls aren't getting anything out of this feud between them because both of them are just like, I don't like her, she don't like me, she stay over there, we stay over there, and that's fine. And I actually kind of like that because I find it very fake, and they do it all the time in reality TV where these girls will like bicker and argue, and in the next episode they had dinner and they apologize, and I'm like, that's fake. How can you get over that so quickly? Like, that's just so fake to me. To me, it's more realistic to be like, okay, we don't get along, I don't hate her, but you stay over there and I stay over here. That's more realistic. So I like the attitude coming from both of them. So then Todd and Alexia check out their wedding venue. It's a very nice boat. I find it that's really interesting. Most people, you know, do their weddings at some place, but she's doing it, well, at this time, she's doing it on a boat. Those of you who know, Alexia did eventually get married in Paris, so we'll see what happens in between all that. But they have a food testing. Alexia is very picky, except when it comes to the Cuban meal, of course. And then we finally get to see Gertie like in action trying to plan a wedding, which is nice. I mean, I don't think ultimately Gertie does plan the wedding. I feel like it's just a storyline, but still, you know, I like seeing Gertie in action. It'll work. Like I said this weeks ago, but if she had like her own My Fair wedding type of thing, that would be amazing because I think she's great. I think she's great at what she does. And I think she's really pretty too. I just don't like her wigs. But that's another conversation. The scene moves over to Julia and Adriana. I'm so over Julia and Adriana. I get that they're trying to make them so spicy and compelling to stay on the show, but I'm just over their friendship. It's like, I'm more interested in seeing Julia's interaction with the other girls than with Adriana. Because with Adriana, I feel like Adriana's overly territorial over Julia, and I don't understand why. Like, I'm about to get into that a little more, but it's like when I see Julia, like later on in the episode, you see Julia walking with Nicole. I like seeing Julia with the other girls. She gets along well with the other girls. I don't understand why Adriana has to like hold her like she's some friggin' magnet to her. And then, so in that scene, Julia talks about her deadbeat baby daddies pretty much. You know, Adriana then talks about her son, who I did not know her son is 22 now. That's interesting. I thought he would probably be like 18. I don't know, he's 22. So poor Adriana's lonely. I mean, she is an empty nester. Her son is outliving his life, and Adriana's 2 times divorced and single. It is what it is. I feel like people need to be more comfortable with being alone. I feel like that's like biggest fear in society is like, I'm scared to be alone. And it's like, it's really not that bad, and it's actually kind of peaceful to be alone. Like, I'm not scared to live in the house by myself. I'm not that desperate that I need a partner to be with me. Like, I don't care. And I feel like more people need to be comfortable within themselves, because it's like, if you need a man or you need Julia's attention that bad just so you don't feel, so you can feel better about yourself, that's a huge you issue. Going into that, let me get into what I really want to get into. Adriana, and it starts raining, it's all dramatic, and she starts talking about how she really needs Julia, and she really needs this friendship because, you know, she don't got a man, her son is gone. What does she have? Okay, I get that, Julia, but Adriana, you're not 15 years old. You know, I feel like that's such a teenager thing to say, like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my friends, that's all I need. And I get it, because you don't have anybody else but Julia, but Julia is a married woman, and that's why I keep saying it sounds like you're 15 years old, because you need to understand, and this is what I hope Julia understands. It's like, Julia is a married woman, which means you are never her first priority. I feel like the way Adriana is going about this relationship, she feels like Julia should prioritize her. You are not her wife. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to find somebody else to lean on like that. But at the end of the day, Julia is married, and I find it really, really toxic when friends like that think that even though their friends are now married and gone off living their life, they have to watch them like a damn baby. Julia's married. Like, Julia's gonna choose her wife over you. I'm sorry, she is. She's married. She has children. She has stepchildren probably too. Julia's married. Like, I'm just so over them at this point. I'm so over Adriana at this point when it comes to this relationship. It's like, maybe she's doing it for cameras. Maybe she's really lonely. Maybe it's a combination of both. But Julia's married, and you need to respect that. Like, you can't put the world on Julia's shoulders for you. She's married. What about Alexia and her sons? I think Frankie's so amazing. I love seeing Frankie. I'd rather see Frankie on camera than Peter. Just saying. And then Alexia and Peter talk, and I do commend Alexia for saying that, for revealing that she has got therapy and got a therapist. That's great. That's showing that she's trying to improve and she's making the steps, whether therapy is successful or enough. The fact that you're actually determined to make that effort is amazing and commendable. So I commend Alexia for that. I hope she continues therapy. I hope it helps her out, because she has been through a lot, not just with Frankie, but like the fact that your father was in the closet all your life and he was essentially lying to you, and then you find out after he dies that he was a gay man, and just that concept like of, you know, my dad not being able to feel comfortable to show me his true self. Like, and there's so much, you know, I watched some of Cocaine Cowboys. You know, she went through a lot with their father and him going to jail for 5 years, him having a hitman out waiting for him in the parking lot right after she gave birth to Peter. There was literally somebody out in the hospital parking lot waiting to kill her baby daddy. So she's been through a lot, and therapy is good for anybody. So great for her. And then she goes to Peter. Peter, you do need therapy. Like, I didn't like how defensive he was getting. Like, he kept cutting his mom off. Alexia's like, why don't you try therapy? He's like, oh, I don't want to talk to some stranger. I'd rather talk to my Nana, who's Alexia's mom. I don't think family in general, I don't care what good listeners they are, I don't think family is a good way to have a therapy session with. You could vent to your family, but I just feel like family doesn't know how to properly say things that are unbiased and like are going to really, really push you to do better. Like, your abuela is going to say, you know, stuff that's going to make you feel better, but I don't know if your abuela has it in her to really push you to like grow up, Peter, and really, really like, come on. But who knows? I understand if you're comfortable talking to her, but talking to somebody that's trained in these type of issues is really something that Peter should do, especially since we found out a couple weeks ago he allegedly was hitting his girlfriend, right? And I heard that case has been dismissed, so I guess the girlfriend forgave him. They're back together. Who knows? I just think, Peter, like, you've been through a lot. You've been through seeing your brother virtually turn to a new person. You know, your father and the cocaine business, your mom marrying a gay man in the closet. Like, your mom, just seeing 3 marriages alone from your mother is a lot to take in. So, Peter, you do need therapy because you clearly have a lot of issues. And I just didn't like how defensive he's like, no, I don't need it. Like, I just think Peter is very immature. And I don't know. I hate when people get so defensive. Like, you bring up the moment she brought up therapy, he got defensive, start cutting her off. Like, I don't need that. I just need to speak to Abuela about it, or whoever she is. And Alexia does talk briefly about how her mom is not doing well anymore. So I'm sorry about that. So then the scene moves on to Alexia's bachelorette party in Versace Mansion. Nothing really happens in the beginning. Everybody trickles in. The Versace Mansion, I understand it's iconic, but it's so outdated. Like, it was ugly to me. It was just too gaudy, too many patterns. You got all this patterns on the floor, the patterns on the wall, then you got these distracting ass portraits. Just too much patterns. Like, it's so outdated. I mean, it's historical, but it's just so outdated. I don't know. So people come in. Lisa destroys the piñata, whatever. The girls gather in all Versace. It's Versace. You have to wear Versace only, going to the Versace Mansion. I like seeing stuff like that. Like, yeah, let me see them being rich. Adriana finally, for the first time this whole season, wears a nice outfit. I loved that dress she came in, that pink florally thing she had on. Boobs look great. I loved the outfit. Unfortunately, I did not like her outfit the rest of this episode. But finally, she's you know, that finally she has a nice outfit. I felt like in the past seasons her fashions was a lot better, but maybe financially she was doing a lot better because she was with that Frederick guy. But finally she had something nice on. Okay, so the rest of the girls trickle in, and then they have dinner at the Versace Mansion. My hair is... I'm trying to be cute with the little... But it's just getting on my nerves. Anyway. So everybody sits down for dinner, and then Lisa stirs the pot because Lisa has nothing else going on in the show. So then she kicks it off by saying, you know, I love all of you guys. I just hope that we all can just get past our issues, you know, just doing this. And then it kicks off with Marisol confronting Nicole at the dinner table about her talking about Marisol. And Nicole defends herself saying that I'm not really talking about you. It's the girls that ask about you and I answer the question. Now, I made sure to watch this episode again to look back at the scenes where Nicole does talk about the Marisol situation. And I think it's just editing, but for one of the scenes, it looked like she just mentioned Marisol out of the blue when she was talking to, I think, Lisa. Like when Lisa said, Marisol, you know, is having this bachelorette, and then she immediately started talking about Marisol. It could be editing too, because Lisa could have just been like, hey, how you feel about that? But I'm going to believe Nicole at this point that the reason why she's talking about Marisol is because people are asking. I'm going to take her word for it. I do think everybody just keeps involving themselves in this because people like Lisa need a storyline, you know? So let's just keep, you know, beating this dead horse of a storyline. Like, both Nicole and Marisol make it clear they don't care about each other. They don't care to continue this conversation. It is what it is. And I think it should just be dropped at this point. Like, Nicole, you know, is hurt by Marisol. She feels like she's catty and mean and a bully. I don't think that. I think when you get Marisol there, she'll take it there, but I don't think she's a bully. I think she's a little exaggeration, but she's hurt, so whatever. But I'm with Nicole on that. And then I honestly rolled my eyes at this part. Julia gets up out of nowhere all drunk, and it's like, Julia, if you're gonna confront somebody, can you at least say a proper sentence? You're all over the place when you're talking. Because she's like, okay, I have somebody that I don't know if we connect well. And I'm like, and the girl's like, who are you talking about? She's like, Larsa. And then Larsa's just sitting there confused. And she's like, I was really upset about the comment you made about, you know, the children out of the wedlock. And again, she wasn't talking about you. I get how that can be a little triggering, but you're the one that had the 3 deadbeat daddies, not her. I feel like people need to put Larsa's culture, you know, and take that into consideration that she was brought up in that type of culture. Like, if she had children out of wedlock, she probably could have been disowned. You never know. But I don't think it's nothing that deep. If you're really that hurt, why bring it up now? You could have brought it up back in the Hamptons. That's what I'm just like, Julia, you're just, whatever Adriana is feeding to you, you're just going off on it. Because I get, like, if you didn't like that comment, you could have pulled Larsa aside when it happened and been like, hey, you know, that comment didn't sit right with me, because it's like you're saying, you know, you wouldn't like having children out of wedlock. What you're trying to say, because I had children out of wedlock and I'm fine. You could have did that like how most of the girls did that in the Hamptons. There was a situation in the Hamptons with Alexia, Marisol, and Nicole. They handled it at the Hamptons. They didn't wait how long after to handle it. And it's just like, if you're going to say you have an issue with her, can you at least utter it properly? Because I had to rewind that to understand what you were saying. Like, I did understand what you were trying to say, but you just, I don't know, because you're just so drunk you can't utter what you're really trying to say, or you're just trying to pick up things on behalf of Adriana. And as usual, Adriana steps in out of nowhere. I feel like this was just a plan between Adriana and Julia to attack Larsa at this point, because it was like, even the girls were sitting around like, why is Julia all of a sudden having an issue with Larsa? And Larsa said to herself, I've been nothing but nice to you. And I agree, we saw Larsa be nothing but nice to Julia. There was no issue. She never said anything rude directly to her. So the fact that you're all of a sudden bringing this up is like weird. And even the girls were weirded out. Larsa was just like, what are you talking about? I was nothing but nice to you. And she was. Like, I feel like both of them concocted a plan to start issues with Larsa. I'm just saying. Okay, so Adriana steps in. And at this point, I feel like Adriana has all of this aggression towards Larsa, and I don't know why. It's like, I understand that she may be annoying to you, but it doesn't, I don't think it deserves as much aggression as you're giving her. And, you know, you keep bringing up Kim Kardashian. I like the fact that Larsa came on the show and not talked about it. You know, it's just nice. I feel like a lot of people thought she would, but she didn't talk about it, and she's trying to keep that peaceful. And I get it, you know, this is your kid's godparents. Like, let's not talk about that. And there's other things to talk about. Like, you don't want to come off as a thirsty fangirl. Like, oh, let me talk about when I was with Kim, she told me this. When I was with Kim, so she told me that. Like, I feel like that's what Larsa wants her to do. And then again, I feel like Adriana feels like I'm like, is Adriana jealous? Because I don't understand what Larsa said that hit below the belt. All Larsa said was, Julia, you're saying you and I don't connect. I was literally trying to help take care of you back in the Hamptons. And then Adriana jumps in like, hey, I took care of her more. Why is it always a competition when it comes to who likes Julia more, who does more for Julia? It's not that serious. It really is not that serious. And I don't understand why she's so defensive when it comes to when people say, even in the Hamptons, when people were saying, oh, we were helping Julia out. She's like, well, yeah, but I was there for her the most. I was there for her since 4 a.m. Like, it's like, Adriana's like that weird territorial friend. Like, it's not that serious. And then Larsa says, yeah, but you were giving her, trying to give her a Xanax. And then she's saying, and then Adriana's like, you're hitting below the belt. How is saying you gave her a Xanax, or you were trying to give her a Xanax below the belt? Are you insecure that you don't feel like you don't do enough for Julia? It's just some weirdness. Like, that's not hitting below the belt. She didn't say anything about your looks, your kid, your lifestyle, nothing. She just said you were trying to give her a Xanax. But it's like Adriana gets so easily triggered by Larsa. That's why I'm like, are you just jealous of her at this point? Because then you want to talk about, oh, you just act like you're better than everybody else. And some of the girls on the table were like, no. And it's like, does Larsa have the lifestyle you want? Like, what is it? Like, I'm trying to understand where is this aggression from Larsa coming from. It can't be from last episode when she didn't want to talk about Kanye. Even with that conversation, you were so aggressive. I don't understand where this aggression is coming from, but I don't think it's warranted at all. Then, of course, just talk about Kim. You know, you were in LA and you were Kim K's minion, and now you're back here. Like, it's none of your business what she was to Kim. And I get it, you know, production probably loves this because they want to know the tea about Kim. But if Larsa's not going to talk about it, stop trying to bring it up. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Adriana this season. She seems very desperate. She seems very, like, jealous. She seems very bitter. I don't know. And I do like Adriana. I just don't know. I don't know if it's because she's not with Frederick and her son is gone. She's alone in the house, and Julia's married and she's not. And she's like Terry Toilet. She may lose Julia because she's now off with somebody else. I don't know what's going on, but she needs help or something. I don't know. Of course, just talk about Kim. You know, you were in LA and you were Kim K's minion, and now you're back here. Like, it's none of your business what she was to Kim. And I get it, you know, production probably loves this because they want to know the tea about Kim. But if Larsa's not going to talk about it, stop trying to bring it up. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Adriana this season. She seems very desperate. She seems very, like, jealous. She seems very bitter. I don't know. And I do like Adriana. I just don't know. I don't know if it's because she's not with Frederick and her son is gone. She's alone in the house, and Julia's married and she's not. And she's like Terry Toilet. She may lose Julia because she's now off with somebody else. I don't know what's going on, but she needs help or something. I don't know. But you guys let me know how you feel about it. Again, sorry for the late upload. We're gonna do the finale this week. I'm gonna get all that done, and then we'll just do the reunion, and then we're gonna move on to the next shows. I think Atlanta's coming back. I'm gonna try to do Atlanta, and I know Beverly Hills will be coming back towards the end of Atlanta, or around the time of Atlanta Housewives comes back, so I'm probably gonna do both at the same time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, dislike, do whatever you want, and I'll see you guys technically in a few days. So thank you guys. Bye.